welcome back to the channel, and if you're here for the very first time, you're really welcome. I'm Jane, my husband Mike is behind the camera. We're British, early retirees, we've got no debt, we've paid off the mortgage, and we live a thrifty, frugal and money-saving life here in Brittany in northwest France. And every Friday we bring you something food related. This week is a really busy week for us. We've had medical appointments, we've got a social life that's sort of taking up a lot of time this week, and I needed to get ahead. I also needed to make sure that I went through all of my cupboards, my freezer, my fridge, everything, and did a good stock check. And when I did, I found no end of things that needed eating up. And that's what you're going to see me do today. I'm going to do some batch cooking. You're going to see what I needed to batch cook, and you're going to see the results of it. So let's get into the kitchen. Well, would you look at this weather? It's the 2nd of July. It's relatively warm, like as in it's not cold, but it's not like summer. It's funny here, the UK's going through this, Northern Europe's going through this. It's like we're just not getting summer. Anyway, I digress. I'm going to go through my freezer and through the cupboard and do a bit of batch cooking today and share it with you, because I just want to use up what I've got. I'm always doing this. I'm always saving bits and pieces and then thinking that I need to use them up. And that's what I'm going to do today. I'll get a bit of gardening done as well. You won't see that. You'll see that in another video. But I'll share with you what I managed to get together. I haven't got a plan yet. I'm going to go through my freezer, have a look at what I've got, and then get it cooked up. And that will be our meals for the week. I have been through the freezer and the cupboards and everywhere else thinking like, right, what do I want to use up? I've got potatoes, they are starting to sprout. I've got sweet potatoes that keep really well, but I'll forget they're there and I need to use them. I've got onions, I've got garlic, those need using. I went through my cupboard and I found a tin of salmon dated the end of 2023. That means it's best before, doesn't mean that you can't eat it. So I'm going to incorporate that. I've got the leek tops today. I've got some chorizos been in the freezer, I beg your pardon. I've got an opened bag of cod. I'll use that up. The cream's half used. I've got broccoli, mixed vegetables. Sorry, I've got cauliflower, mixed vegetables, broccoli. I've got a cream cheese here. Celery. Cheese is open. Those carrots, as you can see here, they're starting to darken. 2 packs of ready-made pastry. I've got rice that I've got open that I want to use up, short-grained rice, which says to me either risotto in some way, and the cream cheese will go in the risotto. It's something we can eat today. I've also got sweet things I want to use up. I've got apples that I've canned a while ago, and I've got blackcurrant jam here, and I will make I'll make a kind of couple of cakes that can go in the freezer, and I'll make some kind of apple and blackcurrant cake that can go in the freezer. And if any stage I want to take it to my craft group or anything like that, I can pull it out and take it. So let's show you. I won't show you too much of the cooking today, but I will show you what I make today from all the things in my freezer and my fridge and my cupboards that need using up. In here I have the frozen leeks, the frozen celery, I've got the carrots, they've seen better days. I've got an onion, it was starting to sprout, and I've got some garlic in here. I'm going to whiz this all up, and this is going to be a good base for lots of things that I'm going to cook today. And there it is, all finely chopped. So I'm just making up now what I call a rainbow risotto. When I make a rainbow risotto, I just put whatever I've got into a risotto. So I fry off the vegetables. I've got some chorizo in here to add in as well, which you would normally put in a paella, but hey, I don't care. And then I'm adding in vegetable stock into this and cooking it through. I'll make it creamy at the end by stirring in some cream cheese that I've had sitting in the freezer for quite a while. I like to make some kind of risotto or rice-based dish like this because it it reheats well. So we'll have this for lunch today. I've got a medical appointment tomorrow, which is like the other end of Brittany. And when I come home, I can just literally reheat the risotto and we can have it for our supper. So there we go. That's another thing I'm making, is a risotto. So the rainbow bottom of the fridge risotto is pretty much done. And here is my my hack. If you're like me and you'll buy some like cream cheese with garlic and herbs in it, and you know you're not going to use it before the date, and you've stuck it in the freezer, it's something that you can just add to a risotto and it makes it all creamy and smooth. It makes it all garlicky and cheesy. And for what I paid for it, like 85 cents, it does such a good job. So this is going to be our lunch today, and it's also going to be our evening meal for tomorrow. Let's go through what I've made next. I made a big pot of cheese sauce. I cooked up some broccoli and I cooked up some cauliflower. And I've made a broccoli and cauliflower in a cheese sauce topped with cheese. That's a great side dish to have with anything from sausages to chicken, anything you like. I've then got the rest of the cheese sauce and I added in some peas. I took the cod that I had there that needed using up. I defrosted it, I've cut it into chunks. I've added it in here. I then took the potatoes, peeled them, boiled them, mashed them, added some cream, some butter, some salt and pepper, and that's going to go on top. So each one of those would be a meal for a whole evening or a whole lunch for us. Okay, next to use up another bag of frozen vegetables, a sweet potato, the rest of the carrots, some of the broccoli, some of the frozen leeks. I'm going to make a soup and make basically a vegetable and lentil soup. It'll be a great thing to have in the freezer for one of those days I don't want to cook. I can just pull out some soup. We can have some crusty bread with it, or I can have some crackers with it. And that's the next thing I'm going to make. There is our finished risotto for today. I'm talking loudly because I've got some vegetables sauteing in the background to make the soup. And I put some grated grana padano on top of it. And there's the risotto for tomorrow when we come back from a trip away that I can just reheat and add a bit of cheese to it. So there's the progress of the batch cooking. So I'm finished. The batch cooking has finished. And let's show you what I've got here. I've got 2 sponge puddings. I've made sure that they look browner on top than they actually are on camera, which is a shame. So the sponge cake mix on top is eggs, sugar, flour and butter, equal measurements of those, a bit of vanilla extract in there. I then took out the canned apples, I drained them and I mixed the apple into the sponge mix, and in the bottom here is blackcurrant jam. And in here, the bits that I had left is just the apple and the sponge cake mix. It's all a bit flat, but it's okay. I'm sure Mike will really enjoy it with a cup of coffee at some stage. And I can just freeze these and take them out when we want them. So I've got those. I've got 2 fish pies that you saw me make with the cheese sauce with peas in it that I poured over the cod. And then I put creamy, buttery mashed potatoes on top. Those are going to go in the freezer. In here is cauliflower and broccoli in the cheese sauce, which will be a side dish to go with meat. In here is the risotto that we'll have for supper tomorrow. Here's the vegetable soup. I pureed it so it's all blended. And over here is the salmon and broccoli quiche. And again, it looks browner than it is. It's golden really. It's golden. The broccoli and salmon quiche will go into the fridge. The puddings will go into the freezer. The soup will go in the freezer. Those 2 will go in the fridge. And those 2 will go in the freezer, and these will go in the freezer as well. So I think that was a really good morning's work. And, you know, we don't want to throw anything away. So if I see anything that's starting to, you know, needs eating up, I'll cook it and do a little bit, as I did here today, of batch cooking. I thought somebody's going to ask me a question about what's the difference between a pudding and a cake, and what do you mean by a pudding. A pudding in the UK is hot or cold, but it's eaten with a spoon and not your hands. A cake you can eat with your hand. So my sponge here has the apple in it and the jam is on top. And what we do when we serve this, we will microwave it to warm it up, or you'd serve it straight from the oven. And you tip it upside down so the jam is on the top and it runs down. And you'd eat that in a bowl, usually with lots of custard. So there we go. That's what we in the UK call a jam sponge pudding. Just I have put apples in the sponge. Thank you massively for watching. If you like money saving videos, don't forget to subscribe. We put out 3 videos every single week. We know half of you watch on a regular basis are not subscribers, so go on, hit the subscribe button. If you enjoy the videos, go on, do us one favour and hit the thumbs up button. Massive thanks to absolutely everybody who leaves a comment, and we read every single one of them. See you again soon, and bye for now.